Welcome to Cars with Casey, Episode 4. The year is 2009 and General Motors is going bankrupt. Saab, Pontiac, Hummer, and Saturn will be lost in the coming bailout. However, Koenigsegg has offered to buy and save the Saab Motor Company to preserve the Swedish car market. Both car companies share the legacy of the Swedish Air Force. So if this deal went through, what would a 2025 Saab lineup look like in a partnership with Koenigsegg? The new lineup would serve primarily as a rival to Ford. Ford's recent push for smaller displacement power would undoubtedly catch Saab's attention, and Saab's new lineup would come almost exclusively in hatchbacks. Due to a change in naming systems, some nameplates will seem different from what they used to be. The first number in these numbers indicates the payload capacity in hundreds of pounds, and the second indicates the seating capacity for the car. The first car on this list would be the Saab 9-4. It will come as a 3-door shooting brake, optionally with a target top that can be manually removed. The 9-4 will come with 4-wheel drive and a 6-speed dual clutch that will allow the 9-4 to sit in at just over 1,000 RPMs at 70 miles per hour. The engine will be a 2-liter inline-4 that produces 250 horsepower and can motivate the car to 60 miles an hour in 5.5 seconds. An optional hybrid system will add 75 horsepower to the vehicle. The second model in this lineup is the 10-5. It is a 5-door station wagon intended for a more practical use. The car will come with the same drivetrain as the 9-4 with the same hybrid option. However, the rear end will offer up to 37.5 cubic feet of storage, more than the 9-4. The third model would be the 20-2. The 5-door wagon will be more intended for commercial use rather than personal use. The rear doors will expose no seats, but rather a massive cargo hold with up to 70 cubic feet of space. The rear hatch is replaced with a wide set of coach doors to make for easier access to the rear end. There are only 2 seats in the car, those both being front seats. The car still bears the same engine and hybrid powertrain as the others, but with an 8-speed automatic powering just the front wheels. The fourth model will be a close copy of the 20-2, but with a lifted body at the sacrifice of a payload, reducing it to 1,500 pounds. The shooting brake lacks the extra side doors, but the rear coach doors are replaced with a lift-back hatch. The front-wheel drive drivetrain is replaced by the 6-speed dual clutch and 4x4 of the other models. This vehicle will be more intended for camping use. The fifth model will be the 25-5. The mid-size SUV will have the option to go up to a 3.5-liter V6 that produces 400 horsepower, a direct rival to Ford's D35 EcoBoost. This V6 powertrain will not be compatible with the hybrid powertrain in the 25-5. For those looking for more room, the 22-7 will be very similar, but with an extended cabin to allow for a third row of seats. As mentioned before, only almost all of them will come with hatchbacks. The Saab A-Series will be a series of trucks designed to closely compete with the Ford F-Series, especially on the lower end and the sporty side of the F-Series. The A-Series will be built on the same platform as Saab's new SUVs. Similarly to American trucks, the number denotes payload but in hundreds of pounds. The Saab A35 will be Saab's heaviest truck. The A35 will be a heavy truck designed for mostly towing, and it will have 2 powertrain options, one being a heavy-duty 10-speed automatic with a hybrid 3.5-liter V6 producing a total power output of 475 horsepower, and its hybrid will also either come in either rear-wheel drive or 4x4. The second will only come as a rear-wheel drive EV using a detuned version of Koenigsegg's dark matter motor producing 600 horsepower. The truck will come as either a single cab or an extended cab and have a 7-foot bed. The A25 will be a mid-range, everyday truck, somewhere close to between the F-150 and the F-250. It will be offered as the same V6 powertrain as the A35, but optionally with the hybrid boost. The truck will be offered as either an extended cab or a crew cab and have either a 6-foot bed or a 7-foot bed, and again with either 4x4 or wheel-to-wheel drive. Meanwhile, the A15 will be the smallest and sportiest of these 3 trucks. The base version will have the same bed, cab, and drivetrain options as the A25. Where it gets interesting is the sport packages for the A15. taking aim at trucks like the Shelby Super Snake or the Ford Raptor R. And all three of these packages only come with 4x4. The A15-R will be the first of these models. The R comes from the Swedish word ren, meaning clean, as this truck is intended for road use. Power comes from a close relative to the Koenigsegg TFG engine, a 2-liter inline-3 that produces 600 horsepower and 440 foot-pounds of torque. The lightweight truck, an equally light yet powerful power plant, will make the single-cab truck exceptionally quick. And this truck only comes with a 7-foot bed option and is lowered and wide-bodied to produce better stability. The second of these trucks is the A15-S, which will compete with the Ford F-150 Raptor R. The A15-S also comes with a potent TFG engine and a single-cab wide-body format. However, the truck is lifted and uses improved suspension to provide optimal balance and performance over bumpy surfaces at high speed by putting the line of force ahead of the center of mass. And this truck also only comes with a 7-foot bed. The third and final of these sport trucks is the A15-K. It is meant to compete at the high end with sport trucks like the Super Snake and beyond. The truck is lowered and uses a single-cab 6-foot bed format with a wide body, lowered suspension, and improved aerodynamics. The bed is shallow to increase battery space in the back and to balance weight. The truck is powered by a combination of the Koenigsegg TFG engine and the dark matter motor, both mentioned earlier. The 4x4 drivetrain will not come from the other trucks, but rather the Koenigsegg Gemera, giving the car full 4-wheel drive torque vectoring and a 9-speed multi-clutch manual. If you enjoy this episode, feel free to look into the other ones. I can be found on Instagram, Spotify, and YouTube. On YouTube and Instagram, you can find me as Tavling Appa. That's Tavling, Tavling, APA, Appa. I am also found on Spotify, and the podcast can be found under the name Cars with Casey on all 3 platforms. I look forward to talking to you in the next, and I hope to see which of these models is your favorite.